Hey everyone, this is Christopher Luxon, the former CEO of Air New Zealand.
This is John Lee Dumas, the founder and host of Entrepreneurs on Fire.
This is Tracy Ibarra. I'm in Executive Solutions at Dell Technologies.
This is Travis Chappell, founder of Build Your Network. If you are wanting to learn how to embrace change,
To navigate through disruption as a leader,
then listen to the Leadership is Changing podcast.
The Leadership is Changing podcast.
the Leadership is Changing podcast with my good friend,
my very good friend, Denis Giannoutsos.
Welcome to Leadership is Changing. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change. This is taking your leadership to another level by finding the balance between executive excellence and personal well-being through stories that inspire real change. It's time to adapt in our fast-moving world when leadership is changing with your host, Denis Giannoutsos.
Hey, welcome to the show. Leadership is Changing. What we as leaders know to be true is that change is constant. Leaders everywhere confront similar obstacles because people are people, but everywhere you go, leaders are overwhelmed, disrupted, and under pressure. They run from email to email, meeting to meeting. Many leaders are not changing quick enough, which means they run the risk of becoming irrelevant and being left behind. The purpose of the show is taking our listeners' leadership to another level by finding their balance between executive excellence and personal well-being through stories that inspire real change. I believe we don't have enough effective leaders in the world today, and if we can get the leaders to step up and lead change, then they can inspire real change. Hey listeners, it's now time to adapt in our fast-moving world, and I want to welcome you to this Ask Denis episode, which is a freestyle episode. I'm asked a question by our listeners, or I share my thoughts, insights, and experiences from working with leaders around the globe. Listeners, want to remind you about the Facebook group Leadership is Changing. If you haven't joined that group, go ahead and do that. And great to see the numbers of people in the group growing, and the amount of things that are being shared in that group is wonderful. LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, check out the LinkedIn page, Leadership is Changing. Love to see you on that page as well. And it's just wonderful to see the numbers growing in both those different areas for sure. Hey, today, listeners, I want to talk to you about set big goals and do everything you can to bring them to life. So it's going to be an interesting topic today to talk about that. I've been talking about goals and setting goals of recent. I've been talking about New Year's resolutions and talking about people with a brand new year about setting goals. It's about setting goals and setting your year up for success, which is for sure. And that's something that you want to go and do for this year. Now, for some people, they want to be successful this year. They want things to be different this year, and they want to be able to go ahead and achieve things. Majority of them do not set goals. Or if they do and they think about goals, they don't actually write them down. And what's really important here is that we need to write down goals as we think of them and start setting them and getting quite clear on what we want to achieve. But when I say set big goals, what do I mean by that? So today what I'm going to do is go through about that. I'm going to be talking about doing everything to bring it to life. And then I'm going to finish off with four letters and a word called life, and just talk about that as well. All right, team, here we go. What I want to talk to you about now is the fact that if we set big goals, what do we mean by big goals? Well, for everybody, it's different. And for everybody, a goal will be different in the sense of the scale of it. It's just the size of it. For one person, it could be they want to go from $1 million turnover to $2 million turnover. For somebody, they just want to kick off their business and get underway. And so for every single person, it's different. However, for every single person who sets big goals, it's really important, because the thing is, if they can actually set big goals and aim for that, who knows where it's going to go. I do know one thing, that those who set big goals and go for it are more than likely going to achieve that goal versus somebody who sets no goals, or somebody who thinks about goals but does nothing about it. Now, what's really important here, team, is that if we set some big goals, big, hairy, audacious goals, it's called a BAG, B-H-A-G. If you can create these big, hairy, audacious goals, ones that are going to scare you, the ones that are going to be so big, you think, how am I going to tackle that? What am I going to do to make that happen? That's what's going to be really key. Why set these big goals? Because you want a challenge. You want something that you can strive for, aim for. And if you can aim for the moon but land on top of the mountaintop, the view is going to be wonderful. The thing is, you're still going to be a lot higher than where you started. And so, team, let's get there and let's start setting these goals, but make sure they're nice big goals. For a lot of people that I talk to or I've met or I listen to of late, they talk about their goals and they talk about certain things that they need to go and do. What's quite interesting, though, is that they already know how to get there. They just know that they need to do some things to put in place to get there. And I'm going, well, is that really a goal? Or is it just some tasks, some items that you need to do to put in place to go out and be successful in whatever you do? So set big goals. Make sure they are big, hairy, audacious goals. But goals where you are, what are relevant for you and where you want to go, right? And also making sure that you set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals at the most, but no more. I always set 3 to 5 main goals, and that's it. And I've talked about this in other episodes as well. So set big goals. Now let's talk about do everything you can to bring them to life. Because you see, you can talk about goals, you can have goals up on vision boards, you can have goals in front of you, but it's about bringing them to life. That's where the magic happens. And so when you make it happen and you put the goal in place, that's really quite key for all of us, right? Now, the thing here is this: how do you make it happen and what do you need to do to put in place for it to happen? What I do know and what I've actually experienced, and I actually see other people experience as well, that those who take time to not only think about the goals, set the goal, but write the goal, they're the ones who actually will see it. However, what I do see for them is that things are amazing in how things work in the world. Every time I've set a goal, every time I've actually written it down and very clear about the goal, things start to happen around me for that goal to start happening. But hard to explain it at times. But all I know is this, is that when we focus on something, and when we start to think about it, and when we start to pray on it, start to bring it to life, start to do things on with it, it will start to become real. And so that's where it's very powerful. But what's also very powerful, or also can be a bit of an issue, if you're not thinking the right things, then you can also attract the wrong things. So growth mindset is really important for a lot of us in actually setting our goals and starting to focus on those goals for sure. The thing here is, once again, what we do to make it happen is really important. Amazing what happens when you set the goal. But what you want to do is you want to move the mountain. If there's something in your way, you want to move that and go around it, over it, through it, to make sure you get to your goal. What I say to people as well is that if I was to ring you at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning and say to you, come on, get up, let's go, we got to go after your goal, would you get up? It's a cold winter's morning. Would you get up to go and chase that goal? And if somebody turns around and says to me, heck yeah, I'm there, that tells me that's their big goal. That tells me that they're already excited, passionate, and finding that that's something they want to already go and chase. If somebody says to me no, then we need to go back to the drawing boards. Because really, what is your why? What is it? Why are you setting these big goals? What are you trying to achieve? Move the mountain to go ahead and get what you want. If you've got a skip in your step, you know where you're going. That's what's also going to show me that you're going to do everything in your way to do everything in your life for them to come to life. Do a plan. Pull a plan together. Set yourself up for success to make sure that you do get this done. Now, here's the thing that I want you to do also, listeners, is anticipate obstacles, blockages, things that could get in your way. But I want you to plan about what could get in your way, and then what are you going to do about it? I'm not asking you to think about it to attract it, because you see, sometimes things are just going to happen. But what can you do to anticipate some issues? And if those issues happen, you've got a plan to get around them. You've got a plan to move that mountain. And so if you plan for success and anticipate obstacles and solutions around those obstacles, you've got to set yourself up beautifully to bring those goals to life for yourself. Who do you need around you, though, to help you bring those goals to life? I always find that if you share those big, passionate goals with people that you trust, they'll get around you to help you. They'll get around you. They'll find other people to come in and support you as well. Who do you need to help or solicit to come along and assist you in what you need to do? You're in a circle. Share the goal with people. You'll be amazed in who will actually come on board to help you and make things happen. So, listeners, if I take the word life, because you see, I've said set big goals and do everything you can to bring them to life. L-I-F-E. And if we talk about those letters and pull some words, L for lead, I for innovate, F for fight, and E for energized. If you can lead your goals and bring them to life, you take the reins and you make things happen. Don't wait for anyone else. This is your goal. And I'm amazed at how many people I see who are sitting back waiting for someone else to tell them what to do or for someone else to do it for them. This is your goal. This is something you want to go ahead for and put in place. If it's your goal and it's something you want and your why is strong enough for that thing, then you move the mountain. Then you go ahead and take the reins. You go ahead and make it happen. In other words, you lead from the front. The I is innovate. Think outside the box. Find solutions. Remove roadblocks. Whatever you need to do, innovate. Find solutions. Sometimes what happens is that if somebody's got a business they want to do, or they want some services they want to do, or a product, whatever, and the market doesn't have it, or it's not good enough, it's not world class, then go and reinvent it. Go and innovate. Go and create your solution for it. Because you see, that could be another line of income, another product, something else that you can offer to the market. Because if you can't find it, more than likely others are looking for it as well. And because they can't see it either. And if you can produce something by innovating, finding solutions, removing the roadblocks, and thinking outside the box, just imagine what you could achieve. The third letter is F for fight. Fight for what you want. Don't give up. Drive and drive hard. Put the foot on the accelerator. Go for it. Don't stop. Keep going. When you feel like you're running out of energy, when you feel like things aren't going right, that's when you should put the foot on the accelerator even more. Yes, you need to take some time out quickly to reflect, but I'm going to tell you this, keep going. Some of you are wanting things to be perfect. Well, I'm here to tell you that it ain't going to be perfect. Never is going to be perfect. So you might as well get started and you might as well get on with it, because action is the thing that's going to cure a lot of things. But if you're going to go and do it, then fight it with action. That's an interesting comment I just made. Because you see, a lot of times when I've wanted to do things and things are not going well for me, or things isn't really where I want it to be, I would just put more and more action in it, the right action, and then just take it to another level. And when I take it to another level, that's where I see the tipping point. That's where I start to see it moving forward, going and things starting to happen. And the last letter is E, energized. And you can tell probably from my voice, being energized. I'm so excited about things this year. I'm so excited about the people I'm working with. I'm so excited about what they can achieve and where they can go. Some of them have got solutions and they want to go for it. They just don't know how to do it, and they need someone to be accountable to. Others are not sure where they need to go and they need some clarity. So I'm helping them get clarity about where they're going. Bring heaps of energy to whatever that goal is. Heaps of it. Bring the energy to the goal. Bring the energy to the action. Do whatever you need to do. Put a skip in your step. Because you see, when you've got energy and when you're out there taking action, those two things, the combination of that, brings it and makes it attractive for others to want to be part of it. And if others want to be part of it, you'll be amazed to see how many people, or what kind of quality of people, what kind of caliber of people you're going to attract to your goals. Team, all I can say to you is this. It is the second week of the month, second week of the new year. Where are you at with your goals? Have you set them for the year? Are they in place? Are they big enough? Are they going to challenge you? Are they going to make you want to sweat? Are they going to make you think about what you need to do? how are you going to bring them to life? What are you going to do? How are you going to do everything you can in your power to bring them to life? All I know is this. For a lot of you, you'll need somebody to help you. You'll need clarity. You'll need some thinking. You'll need someone to help you with that thinking. You need to put a plan together. You'll need to have someone help you pull that plan together. You'll need someone beside you as a coach, as a partner, somebody who's going to take you from where you are to where you want to go to. This year could be your year. This year could be awesome for you. And so I'm going to offer you something today. I'm going to offer you a free 30-minute strategy session for you to get on a call with me, one-on-one. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about where you want to go. And if I need to go a little bit longer in time, I'll go longer in time, because I'm passionate about moving mountains to help you get what you want to get. Because at the end of the year, imagine where we can be and how we can celebrate. If your goal is during the year, whenever you achieve that goal, what can we do to celebrate that success? And so, team, feel free to check out and send me a message on social media. People are doing that already. They're reaching out to me. They're sending me messages, and I'm booking them sessions for them to have one-on-one sessions with me. I help many people. Today, I've been with executives helping them, thinking about where they're going next in their careers, or where they want to go in their businesses, and how they've started businesses and where they want their businesses to go next. Others who are thinking about leaving their job or thinking about going to another level in their current role to take their teams to another level. How? By looking after themselves. So they've set some big goals and they're doing everything now to bring them to life for them and for their teams. If you need any help, feel free to reach out to me. And just know that I'm here to help you to take you to the next level. What we as leaders know to be true is that change is constant. Change is incredibly scary, especially with the unknown and the unfamiliar territory. It's time to adapt in our fast-moving world when leadership is changing. Look out for the episodes as they're being released. Download them, have a listen, put a review and a rating. Share them with your friends, your family, your network. Hey, if there's any questions that you've got for my guests as I interview them, if there's a question you have for me on the Ask Denis episode, or if there's any feedback you'd like to give me about the show, feel free to send me an email, dennis@leadingchangepartners.com. Hey, listeners, if you haven't checked out the Facebook group or the LinkedIn page of Leadership is Changing, go ahead and check that out. Love to see you in that group or that page. Until next time, team, bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Leadership is Changing with your host, Denis Giannoutsas. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change, inspiring executives and leaders to adapt and lead a bigger game in a fast-moving world.